Welcome to Hitched. I wanted to do a video series to share my enthusiasm for camping. And it's February 28th, and it's our first trip of the year. It's just above freezing today, so why not get on the road? And we're going to head down to Bogacz in Hungary to visit the thermal pools and see the town of Eger. It's about 2.5 hours away from where I live in Slovakia. So in this series, I wanted to share not just the technical aspects of camping, although I will do that. I'll show you around the camper and the rig. But I also wanted to really share the joy. I mean, why are we doing this? As a family, we just absolutely, 3 years ago, we decided to buy a Caravan. And it's kind of a quick decision. And we had been camping in tents for a couple years, spending many weeks per summer in the tent. And this is back in 2022 during the lockdowns and all that. And I remember just dreaming of getting out and going into the campgrounds and being outside for the weekend, go swimming, go hiking, biking. And it occurred to me that I don't have to wait till summer because campers have central heating and you can really make the most out of all year round. We typically go from February through November, couple times a month, long weekends, and I'll show you kind of how it works. And if you're thinking about, trying camping or buying a Caravan, hopefully this will inspire you to give it a go. If you're considering buying a Caravan, I know in the U.S. I guess they're called camper trailers. Obviously hitched behind the car, or a mobile home where obviously you have the motor right on board in a single unit. I would say before you make that investment, it's probably a good idea to do some camping in a tent. You can go to Decathlon or any kind of sporting goods store and find pretty good deals on tents. Make sure you get a blow-up mattress because you don't want to sleep on the ground if you're my age, certainly. And good sleeping bags and enough gear. And just find out whether that's for you, whether if you're in a couple, if your spouse enjoys it, if your kids enjoy it. Do you come back feeling like you're on vacation and had a great time, or do you feel like the whole thing is just not for you and you'd rather be in a hotel? For us, I love going to hotels. In Slovakia, we have a lot of nice wellness hotels and beautiful mountains to see and everything else. But it got to be too expensive. If you're looking at eating and everything else, you're looking at 200 euros or 250 minimum per night for a nice hotel with a wellness and pool and everything else. And that just gets to be too expensive. So what inspired us to buy a camper is actually, we love traveling. We loved getting outside with the family and visiting places and not breaking the bank. And we started looking at buying a used Caravan, and around Central Europe, it's very difficult to find one that's at a good price without being too old and run down. And so we started looking at new campers, and we in our town there's the dealership for Weinsberg, which is a German manufacturer, and we found out that we were able to actually get a loan for the Caravan on our business. So the payments came out to about I think it's about 370 per month euros for 5 years, and we're 3 years along already. So that's going to be paid. It's going to be paid off, soon. And if you think of that, if you use it once or twice a month, campgrounds cost like 25 euros a night, right? So you can do a lot of traveling on a budget, and especially in the summer, avoiding the flight to Greece or Turkey or wherever else you want to go. That can be thousands of euros just for the week. And now we're kind of on that budget where we can camp for a week or two straight in the summer, and it's not going to break the bank. It's, some nicer places are more like 40 or 50 per night, but still that's doable. You cook your own food. I'll show you around the camper, but we've got a full-size fridge. We've got central heating, obviously. You have a shower, you have a WC. You have all the comforts of home. I sleep better in the camper sometimes than I do at home. It's just a really wonderful experience, comfortable. And I'll show you around the interior here in a minute. But if you're considering going forward and buying a camper, you know, it is expensive, but at the end of it, okay, 5 years and you've had all these experiences and you've paid for it, right? So now you own the thing and you can sell it someday if you need to, or trade it up for a different one. So we're just enthusiastic. It's really like the main thing my family looks forward to year round, because you can do so many different things. So I want to show you some of the camper and the interior, and then I'll get to the exterior. But the idea, again, isn't a technical review of everything. It's kind of, if you're unfamiliar with caravanning, you know, what's it like? What's the reality? Is it for you? Okay, so here we go. Here's as you just walk in through the door here, you have your little kitchenette and dinette. Easily fits 4 people with a little bit of elbows bumping. Better to have two or three, but not a problem to have a meal with 4 people. The kitchenette, we have a gas hob with 3 burners, and that goes down for you know, cutting and preparing food. Sink, and you hear the pump running here. So it has like an electric pump to get the water, you know, moving through, and I'll show you where the water is and everything else. We have up here some of the oils and salt and pepper and spices, and then some glasses over here and other things. And then you have 3 very large drawers for, just like at home, you have your silverware and your coffee and graters and everything else. Here's some plates and storage containers. Lighter plates, they're made for campers. You want to be conscious of your weight. Obviously, that's a big deal in terms of your fuel efficiency and just the tax you're putting on the car. Here we keep some pans closer to the ground. They're heavier. Everything is very lightweight. The wood is meant to be lightweight. This Caravan weighs 1,100 kilos. Plus, obviously, you have to factor in what you've loaded it with, and the car pulls 2,300. So we have a Skoda Karoq, which is like a Touareg, like a Volkswagen Touareg made by Volkswagen for Europe, the Skoda brand. It's a great car for towing this beauty. Over here we have the bunk beds for the kids. My 6-year-old is going to be sleeping up here tonight. We're off to Hungary tonight. He has a little shelf here. He has a little light and a charger. And a second bed, a little bit less comfortable because it is kind of a small space here, but for smaller kids it's perfectly comfortable. We actually have a heating pad underneath his bed. Although it's warm enough at night, we want to make sure when it's cold, below freezing at night, that he's comfortable. And here's the little restroom, little WC. I have the steps in here. Those go outside when we arrive at the campground. Obviously hot, cold water. And this pulls up over here and becomes a shower. So you pull this up, mount it here, and you take this curtain, and that pulls around. I'll show that in more detail as we get to using it and so forth. And the toilet, I'll show you how that works as well, and in detail. Here's the fridge. Got to pack that still this morning. A little bit smaller than a full size, but it's enough for 3-4 nights. We pretty much cook every meal. Save money on restaurants. A little freezer, and that runs even plugged into the car. The car battery powers it. Over here we have the water. You can either add water from the outside, or more often, I just take a big jug and I dump it in here. It holds 40 liters, which typically, if you're using water comfortably, 2 or 3 times a day, you have to fill up. Here's a water filter. Change it every year. And these water valves here, you have to turn and drain the water out, especially in the winter. You don't want any water in your camper during the winter when it's freezing. So you have to go around the Caravan and deal with those little valves. There's 3 different areas where we have these valves. And this obviously pulls down into a bed if you want to have a 5th person or 6th. It's a little bit short for me, but it's comfortable enough. Here we have these cabinets for towels, for some food, some games. And of course we have more shelves over here. This is for kind of dried food. And down here we keep our potatoes and onions and garlic and ginger and a fire, in case of a fire, gotta have that on hand. And some beer, of course. And then there's a cabinet here for jackets, which is kind of nice because in the winter, it gets really warm in there. The heat's right below it, so you can dry off your ski clothes or wet jackets. Nice little feature. Down here on the lower part of the closet, we have the battery switch. So this is equipped with pretty much a car battery, and that can run the lights and the pump, the water pump. It doesn't obviously run the heating or the refrigerator. That takes a bit more power. So the refrigerator can actually run either on electricity or the car battery when you're moving, or it can run on propane. So we have a couple propane tanks in the front. I'll show you that when I get to the exterior. And there's an automatic mode where you're able to switch between electricity right to propane in the middle of the night if the power goes out. And it's happened a few times. So you're not going to spoil your food. And this right here is the gas heating. It's not on a thermostat, but basically you light it up. If I can remember how to do this, it's been a long winter. You turn it up over here, push it down, and the gas is not turned on right now, but if it were, you'd have a flame in there, and you'd be able to turn the fan on, and that circulates through pipes throughout the whole caravan. It takes a little while to heat up, obviously, when it's cold in the winter, but it gets to a nice room temperature. And this is the master bed. This is a nice double-sized bed for my wife and I, and very comfortable. I actually have a rig here, rig to do some work, because a lot of times I'm doing my work on the computer. I work in software sales, and if I'm on the road, I'll simply stick the computer up here, put the keyboard on here on my lap, and I'll be able to sit back and pull down this blind and curtain. And with the blurred background, I'm able to do my Zoom calls without it raising any suspicion. I get some good work done here. We have a good data plan through O2, so we have like 30 gigs a month, which is usually enough, or 50 if we need to. And so yeah, I'm able to work on the road, which is a huge benefit. Not needing to take days off for a trip, or if we're in the middle of on the road somewhere and I have a call, I can stop at the gas station and pull up next to a truck and jump on my call, and no one has to know the difference. Up here we keep our clothes. Of course, this bracket here comes off. It just screws off. I put that under the bed at night. It's actually, I bought it as it's supposed to be for holding a monitor on your desk, but I kind of installed it opposite and put it upside down like this, so it holds perfectly. Also for watching Netflix or watching a game, we'll just lay in bed and be able to watch what we want to in the evenings, which is nice. And the bed just opens up right here. Nice big storage space under there. Got my guitar, outdoor clothes, some toys for the kid, and there's the battery. And as you can see, a bunch of piping. This is for the heating to run through the whole space. And there's also a nice storage space under here. This is where we keep the spare tire, as well as the chairs and the rug for outside. So kind of the outside awning space stuff goes there, which is not that easy to get to, but hey, that's okay. And up here we have the mover, which is a remote control unit for moving the caravan without needing to use the car or push it. It's too big for that. And where we park it on a hill, we need to have the mover to get it in and out. So that's a quick tour of the interior. Got a nice, you know, all these windows obviously open. We have screens everywhere. Got the little garbage can installed on here, which is really, really convenient. So very comfortable space. Obviously we have curtains for the bed, so for a little privacy for changing or for evenings. We love it. We just love this model. I think it was the 480. You have to look at their website, the Weinsberg website, but you have to find a configuration that works for you and your family and how many you are and how big you are and so forth. Yeah, so that's kind of a quick view, quick tour of the interior. And to kind of demystify the mover, see this thing here, it just pulls on the tire. You just use your crank that you also use for leveling and for the legs. And you push that to the tire, and then that spins according to what you're pushing on the remote to move the Caravan. Here's an electricity plug. Need a special adapter for that type of plug. And this is for the mover. This is the key for the mover. I have a bike rack here that will hold 2 bikes. Another one in the car for my bike. And a box is really useful to put some extra chairs and electricity plugs and so forth. So here's our new Skoda Kodiaq. Just got that last November. So we're going to try it out today for the first time. In the front here you have a storage unit. And here we have a couple gas propane tanks. And each of these, if you want to heat just with the propane, it'll last about 3 days in cold weather or quite a bit longer if it's a bit warmer, obviously for cooking and heating. And when that runs out, you just change to the next one and then of course replace the old one. We got some water jugs here for filling it up. You never know what kind of faucet you're going to run into, so you have to have a couple different sizes. I have a mat here for muddy conditions, doing the work outside, and a bunch of sort of external equipment here. And this is the tank for the gray water. So you put that in back here, and your soapy, dirty water comes out in there, and then you empty that a couple times a day. Here's where you pull out the toilet, and I'll show you how that works as we get to it. Here's where you can load some water with a hose if you happen to have running water on your campsite. And here's where the gray water comes out. I'm not going to show you every detail here, but as we get to doing some of the chores and setting up, I'll record some of that as well. So up here we have the awning, so that unzips and pulls out into a nice canopy for sunny weather. Although you want to definitely put it back up when it gets windy, and I'll talk about that maybe someday. We destroyed one in a storm. You got to put that up when it gets windy. So that's kind of a quick tour of the exterior, and more to come. Now you also need to screw on these mirror extenders to be able to see around the Caravan, as it's a bit wider than the car. So you need to see cars coming up behind you on the sides. So we're on our way to Hungary, going to Bogacz. And you might think, why would you go swimming in February? Well, we'll find out. It's actually nice, and it's about 10 degrees Celsius forecasted for the weekend, and sun and hot water, and you wear your robes, and it's really nice actually. So we're excited to go. We haven't been camping since September because our old car, we had a 15-year-old Toyota RAV4 diesel, did a great job, but I think it just got to be too old, and engine overheated, and finally the engine just died. So we were like last fall, just heartbroken with the Caravan, but nothing to pull it with. And after some searching and some budgeting and all that, we bought a new car. We bought this Skoda Kodiaq, and so far in the first trip is doing a great job towing. Really, it's automatic, shifting nicely. It's a lot smoother than the RAV4 was, a little bit heavier, a little better towing capacity. So we're super excited to have this 2023 car versus the 2009 that I had before, and hopefully we have another 15 years of camping.
Done. Then these are the improvements that were made in Dot 1. I always add this in, this, you know, the...
No?
Already back from the pools. Made some burritos for dinner.
Empty plates.
I know, a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. Normally we have music going, but when I'm recording video, that's not possible, so that stopped. And already in pajamas. 6:30 at night. I'm going to go out and get some more water and do a couple things outside, take the garbage out, and we're going to play some roulette and some games with Leonard before bed.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you good smart head. Mwah.
And then I'll put the
I
coin
found something
there.
I couldn't find.
And then sit.
So proud, Leonard.
This is not really a wilderness experience, I would say, but it's more of like a February 28th camping experience. Watching some basketball, just chilling out, just thinking how awesome this is that we can be out here. And tomorrow go to see Eger, go to see, maybe on Sunday go for a hike. Leonard's sitting over here in his bed, way over there.
The curtain is closed.
Curtain's closed, his privacy.
Dark.
It's all good. We went to the pools today for like 45 minutes, but we'll show more of that tomorrow. Having a great time.
Sir. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Not.
Let's go down now.
It's not sir, but ma'am.
Let's show us how it's done.
Wow, all by herself?
I'm not even doing anything. No? We're done.
It's okay.
It's bedtime. What is that all about?
That's my weight.
So I switched the heating over to this
Oh, okay. Sorry.
oil-filled space heater, which, you know, saves us money on the propane. You just shut that off and have this going on the electricity, which we're paying for in the campground. So hopefully that'll be enough for the night. And I have his heater, his heating pad in the bed. You know, technology gets you through it to some extent also. Have a full fridge full of food. Here we are Saturday morning. You can see the steamy hot water pools over there. Got down below freezing last night, but no problem inside. Not too many people here this weekend, but a fair amount. This pool is for 18 and over, so it's mainly for it's mostly retired people camping in this pool. And I guess there's 4 hot pools, and then in the summer, there's a regular cold pool and a kiddie pool and things like that. And there's water slides over there as well. I'll show you that. The challenge with campgrounds during this time of the year is mud. Just the ground just doesn't drain like it normally does. So they put all these rocks in, which makes it workable. But without that, you'd have a hard time making a mess trying to park and trying to get outside and do your stuff. But it's all good with kind of how they finished it here. So when you come into the Bogacz campground, you can go right to find a spot. What we do is Susanna goes in. You have to have your IDs ready for every person. You have to have your vehicle license plate information and just register when you come in. And of course you pay when you're leaving. They don't know how long you're going to stay, so you pay before leaving. And it's about 50 euros per night, which is a little bit steep for any campground, but you're getting obviously all the people, the camper, the car, and access to all the pools pretty much all day long. So it's not so bad if you think of it as, if you went somewhere and actually had to pay for a water park, you'd spend a lot more than that. So, but yeah, you have to have all your documents ready. They're not usually very formal in campground. Sometimes you don't have to provide anything, but in this case, you do have to show your documents and register properly. I need to throw out my gray water. So you just get down here into the mud, pull that out, and it's full. Unscrew this, put that on there. In the summer, you can just get water right here, some fresh water. But in the winter, you can have the water running. Here's the kitchen for washing dishes or getting water. It's functional. I guess they're gonna remodel a lot of this. The showers are pretty nasty, kind of dirty and run down, but I guess they got a grant to remodel some of this soon. But it's functional. Here we are in Eger, about a 20-minute drive from Bogacz.
Out of place, some street in London's left me out of place. I looked right at you, did you see my face? Seems all of London's going separate ways. I'll go mine to New York. The sky above me as I walk its floor. The lights attack me, but I'll just ignore. Seems like New York's becoming such a bore, a waste of time. But time is still the question. What you gonna do? Infinite directions. Gotta choose a few. So I sought some sunset cities, and I've seen some semblance of the truth. Yeah, I've walked so many journeys that I wore these scuffed up shoes. Now I die, smiles, 'cause I beating should be deep in love. She looks right at me as we float above. You seem so silent, these face questions and these two lies. Like before, hearts are beating for something more. Can't stop walking through that open door. Yes, you got me, but as I said before, this is mine. What you gonna do? Different directions. You've gotta choose a few. So I sought some sense of newness, and I've heard never-ending calls of youth. Yeah, I know what it means to do this, and I
Hello. Hello. And here's how you turn your camper into a casino. Very important bets here. I'll bet red. And in this row. Okay.
Black 22.
Where's 22?
Here. But I did
You won.
this row.
You won this row.
That means any 6 of these.
It's black 22, so I won nothing. And you won just this one. I had 6 of those. You didn't get that one, did you?
No, I didn't get down.
No.
Oh, wait. Black 22, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
No, I put that one down. That one.
No, this covers these 6 here. You gotta catch one for the camera. Here we go. Catch it.
I was raised up on the opposite side of the sea, learning all my life how not to be so free. Now I'm not the man they thought I'd be. Mama even tried, but she was just too blind to see everything that is and how it all could be on the opposite side of the sea. So I said goodbye, goodbye. Now I'm free on the opposite side of the sea.
What you making?
Making pancakes using Tupperware and a fork. So, we got no blender.
We forgot all of our equipment for the first trip of the year.
First trip.
That's okay. We always bring too much food. We come back with a fridge full still anyway, but
Break it. But I'm sure it'll be yummy anyway because
and here's how the mover works. See? Remote control. That's pretty fun, huh?
this is how the kid works.